Well, that bootleg's going under the name of, Nothing, Miss Jackson, I think, by, Meats and Poultry. So there you go.
I do love these bootleg things, because they're so pointless, but they're so enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fun to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
really good
they're
fun.
great. But, not as much fun as Wide Van Carl.
Wide Van Carl, absolutely. Do you want to explain the premise?
Well, we take the Sun asks someone else and asked Carl. It's simple as that. The Sun have just taken a normal person, we flipped it. We're gonna ask Carl the same questions about the week's news.
Yeah, just basically your opinions, Carl, as ever. What do you make of, well, obviously the big news, David Beckham's broken foot? Is this a big concern for you?
No, I mean, it's sad, you know, it's sadder for him more than anyone, because, you know, to like, be in the World Cup is like the main thing for him, innit?
Yeah.
But he's still a young lad, and, I don't think he'll give up. I reckon he'll still turn up. He'll be alright, and, yeah, good luck to the lad. You're not like David, I'm not gonna slag him off.
What's words?
He says that like he knows him, like he's popping round for drinks later.
Yeah, like we tried to stitch you up. Go on.
But, obviously yesterday, was it yesterday, I think maybe Thursday, the Sun printed a big picture of, David's, foot, and encouraged everyone to touch it at midday, because hoping that this would somehow, if we all thought and prayed together, somehow that would help his foot heal. Do you believe in that?
No.
Have you any belief in that?
No, you're going down the old, like, Yoragella route, aren't you?
Sure.
And it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I mean, it's nice effort and everything, it sort of cheers everyone up.
Hold on, you believe in ghosts and warlocks and licking toads. Why is that any more stupid than all those things?
It's not gonna work, is it?
Alright.
Fine.
It's rubbish.
Okay.
Okay, what about this then? There's, apparently now available £1.5 million apartments available on an exclusive ship which sails around the world.
Yeah, it's like,
What do you make of that?
it's a huge thing, and you live on it, and it's, I mean, in theory...
How big is it?
It's mental.
Do you know
it's
when
like
huge
a town centre.
Do you know how, like, people said that the Titanic was the biggest ship? Was that only then? They've got
Yes.
bigger ones now, haven't they?
Yeah.
A lot bigger.
Oil tankers are much bigger, and, yeah.
No, but actual...
Liners are big, yeah, it was the biggest then, yeah.
Because my mum told me that there was one that was that big, that it had, like, rough areas on it.
Oh, God! Don't go starboard.
Oh, God!
No, but do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was like
we're thinking of moving, we're seeing the captain, we're thinking of moving to a nicer area. Oh,
yeah. I've heard they're very rough in aft.
Oh, God! Oh, that's
They steal your tyres.
A ship's so big that was rough areas. Oh.
How big is this one that you're talking about?
Well, I don't know, it doesn't give me the specifications here, but
They're huge, they're huge. In theory, I mean, it's that thing with, it's obviously marketing, but, they're gonna, solve, the, overpopulation crisis, where soon we'll all just be floating around the sea, but...
Yeah, I can see that, because, I mean, think about it, right? I've been talking to Ricky about it. I was hoping to buy somewhere in London, but there is no way in this world that I can afford it, right? And you look at all the wasted space, like, with the Thames, all it's doing is, like, collecting crisp packets and stuff, and Coke cans, and people have to clean it up, whereas if you got a load of boats on there...
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Would you live on a
Problem
boat?
solved.
What's his name did it, didn't he? What's that programme? Was it Bergerac?
Noah. Oh, Bergerac?
There was one where he lived on a boat. I think it's quite...
That was a shoestring.
Yeah, I'd give it a go, anyway.
Noah!
I'd like to see you, living in the air, maybe in a giant hot air balloon.
Yeah, alright. But, no, the boat thing, because it is gonna get bad as well, isn't it? They're saying that the water's melting or whatever.
The water's melting,
The ice is melting.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be more water and less land, so in
Yeah.
the future, it's probably gonna be the way we're gonna be living, isn't it?
Have you seen that film Waterworld?
Nah, I don't fancy it.
Because
Is that what happens?
that sort of predicts that, yeah.
What, are they saying that the ice thing will melt?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. If you get, I mean, I think I read that, like, a big chunk of ice, fell off one of the ice, what do you call them?
Caps.
Ice caps. Something like that. I think they said it's the size of the Empire State Building or something.
Right.
It snapped off and went into the water, and it's melted. And they said, oh, it's bad news, you know, something that size is melting. But the way I look at it, if something that size falls into the water, it's like a big ice cube, and it's gonna freeze it up again. Are you with me?
Not really, Carl.
Go on.
Right, you get a giant ice cube, the size of the Empire State Building, stick it in the water, it's gonna make, it's gonna stick back on again, isn't it?
Well, no, only if it freezes up again.
Yeah, well, it will freeze up. The water's gonna get cold again because you've just put a giant ice cube in the water.
So when you put an ice cube in a drink, the drink doesn't freeze, does it?
No,
the ice melts.
If you put one the size of an Empire State Building in your glass of Jack Daniels, it's gonna make it freezing.
It's not going in a glass of Jack Daniels, it's going in the ocean.
I know, but I'm using my fables. Imagine a world.
Use your brain instead!
Imagine the world, imagine the sea, like the Arctic or whatever, as a glass of Jack Daniels.
Okay.
A big ice cube falls into it. It freezes, it melts back on again. So we're alright, I don't know why everyone's worrying.
God, thank God for that, I was getting panicked.
Oh, fine.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that will happen.
Should we play some more music and then come back to White
this is better than ever.
This is dynamite this week.
I'm in there on XFM 104.9, we're doing White Van Karl. Got another one there?
Well, it's just your thoughts really on the Queen Mum's very British send-off that she was given this week.
Yeah.
What do you make of all those people queuing up to see her? Did you think that was incredible?
Right. Well, we said last week, you know, there was I don't quite understand why there was so many people there, who were, like, getting really upset. Do you know what I mean? Really upset, crying and stuff, and, you know, you can lose someone who's, like, related to you, and you don't cry like that. You sort of sit there and you think back to what you did with them and stuff, and then that's it. But, the queue thing, wasn't it like miles long and stuff?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Right, I was sat watching this with Susan.
12 hours queuing.
Yeah.
It never got to 12 hours.
It did, but that was the estimated time.
No,
but how long is a queue when they're just like, you know, walking along? Think how far you can sort of like, you know, stagger in 12 hours.
Incredible.
It was been ridiculous.
Yeah. But, again, you know, if they want to do that, it's their time and that, innit? And it was at the weekend, so they could have, it's not as if they got out of work to do it. No. You know what I mean? They used their own time, so good on them. But I thought, right, what they could have done, remember when I studied Che Guevara?
Yep. Yeah.
Right? And don't be offended by this, it was just an idea, because they did it with Che Guevara. Remember when they cut him up?
Yes, they cut him up, yeah.
What was the reason for cutting him up?
Well, they cut up Che in order to try and, you told us that they were going to send bits of his body to Fidel Castro and various other people, wasn't that right?
As a warning, wasn't it, though, to all the people, like, one to...
Yeah, my understanding was that they cut him up in order to, so they could bury him in different places, so that there'd be no shrine, there'd be not one place that you could go to in order to make him into a martyr.
A little bit like that. I've, like,
I can vaguely see where this is going.
6 queues, and it's like, number 1, you can, you know, go and pay respect to her head, or whatever.
Oh, God.
No, but I just was thinking the way of speeding it up. I'm not having a go, I'm not, because they haven't done it, so it doesn't matter. But they did it with Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Everybody would have felt like they've got close to her, and it would have speeded it up.
No, I mean, but I can understand.
Can I just say that genuinely, Karl is not being disrespectful here. This is his best idea to cut down the queues. So don't phone in. He's not suggesting we should have done this. He genuinely is. Well, but I mean, he's not doing it to be nasty or wacky or you know. He thinks this is a good idea, so...
Can I just try to
with Che Guevara, who was like a powerful man who did a lot for the world and what have you.
Yeah.
And...
Are you aware that I feel slightly responsible for this, because have you heard of the quote, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, next one?
No, just a very quick question. I can understand those that have queued for 12 hours to see the head. I'd be a little bit annoyed if I got there to find a toe.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what they could do without chopping her up. They could put about 9 queues, each could see each hip she had.
That's true enough.
Because she's had about 9 of them, so it'd just be, if you want to see the whole body, it's a 12-hour queue. If you just want to see a couple of the hips...
Here's another suggestion for you, I've just thought, right?
What?
Instead of everyone queuing to see her, why not put her on a trolley and wheel her past everyone else?
Running. So
yeah, you could have some students on Rag Week, and they can combine it, like when they're always pushing a bed. You know, they could just run it along the queue.
No,
that'd be fantastic.
That'd be disrespectful.
Right, as opposed to the chopping up.
So...
Sure.
Right.
But just an idea.
Just I apologise now, anyone's offended.
Anyone offended, I'm sorry, but...
Yeah.
Okay, finally, this is more frothy. Liz Hurley lying low, apparently, at Elton John's house to try and avoid the press now that she's had a child.
That's a good place to go to avoid the press.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, Elton John's house,
Everyone seems to be friends with with Elton John.
Yeah,
Every celebrity's
where did
friends
he
with...
pop into Elton John's house? What, does he run in some sort
But
of...
it was like when Robbie Williams was a drunkard and a drug addict, he went to Elton John's.
Yeah, and who's the other fellow that went there as well? What's someone to, you know, to recuperate and shoulder the crime? So is he giving out false passports?
But I don't know if people have seen his history. He's not the man of, you know, I mean, I know he's cleaned himself up now, but, you know, and maybe that's it. Maybe he's got this kind of insight into how to deal with celebrity.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's just genuine mates with him. I think he's just like a friendly
I
bloke.
think she's been doing too much lying low in the first place. That's part of the problem, isn't it?
High five, Carl.
That was a genuine joke from Carl there. And he's so proud of himself. Look at his little face.
Too much lying low.
Oh, that was my
But I
man,
agree
Carl.
with you. Why can't she just go around to her mum and dad's or something rather than Elton John where everyone's looking? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was good, yeah.
Very good, yeah. Right, what music we got? We got,
Bit of Flaming Lips.
Flaming Lips, excellent. There's the classic Race for the Prize. Should have been a big hit, never was, sadly. The Flaming Lips and Race for the Prize. Just playing that, Rick, for everyone who emails us. We get a lot of emails every week, but obviously don't really respond to them because we're very lazy people, but we obviously appreciate it. And I play that particularly for Claire, who's emailed in saying her friend Sarah Prosser would like some Beatles. We're not going to play the Beatles this week, but Sarah apparently loves us more than words can express.
More than Carl could express.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna stop you there.
What turns you on, creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Learning.
That's a nice answer.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Learning
Will you
stuff.
say that?
Yeah, but everything you teach me, I take it in. It's just that sometimes I go, I don't get it. But that still counts as far as I'm concerned.
Well, no, it doesn't. Learning is, knowledge is, there must be some sort of retention. You can't say I've got a great memory for a second. You can't say that. It has to stay there. And then knowledge has to be, you know, applied. You can't just have all this knowledge that isn't applicable because it's useless. I mean, trivia is useless to a large extent. It's not real knowledge because it doesn't really help you in, practically.
No, but there's a lot of that going on. You're always reading stuff that you go, I've just read that. It's got me thinking for a minute. It's not going to help me in any way, but it gets a reaction, doesn't it?
Well, that's good, yeah, that's what art does, and yeah, sometimes education's good for its sake, if it really does inflame, but
then sometimes, like I've said before, you can know too much where it gets you down.
Go on.
I just was reading something about an octopus. That's like a killer octopus. And it annoyed me that this was knocking about now. Because I didn't know, I thought they were quite friendly. Whenever you see them in cartoons and that, they're always happy, aren't they? And then suddenly, like, they've sort of brought the whole sort of creature down. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, just you know, when you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at like other creatures and stuff, and there's some octopus that's in the sea, and what it does, you don't even have to like threaten it. It just spits in the water, and if that stuff gets on you, does you in.
Again,
So in a way it's good knowledge, because, I mean, I don't go in the sea anyway because it's full of stuff like that, but that's just reassured me that I'm doing the right thing. If they're knocking about, just gozzing everywhere, you don't even have to be near one, you don't even know if it's been spitting and stuff. It can kill you. It just seems unfair. I haven't harmed it, I haven't gone near it, why is it getting annoyed with me? Doesn't seem right. So that's where a knowledge has not helped that octopus out. Because now, when you eat them, I just think, yeah, have another one. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of them.
another conversation with himself. Another conversation with himself.
What is your favourite curse word?
I don't think I do anything like that. I think people can tell by my face when I'm like fed up.
Well, they know you're fed up because you're always whinging.
I don't think I've got one. Knobhead. That sums everything up, and I think it's...
But you wouldn't call your nan a knobhead, would you? What would you call a nan?
But But she doesn't do anything to annoy me that much.
But if she did, what would you say? If she really annoyed
Well,
you?
knobhead's alright, innit? Because she sort of gets it. It's one of them things that everybody understands, but it's not too offensive.
Right.
What a knobhead.
Alright, you're getting into this, aren't you?
So that sums it up, but I don't really... Do you need one of them? What's that doing for you? It's better to think, innit? Like, okay, I've just slagged off that octopus, but at no point was a effing and jeffing about it. You know how annoyed I am with it. I don't have to start swearing about it, and that's...
What would you do, though, if you were swimming, right? It was a nice little thing, you're on holiday, right? And there's this octopus there, and you're going around, right? And you just see it start spitting at you, poison. What would you say to it?
Well, it's too late then, innit? And I'd kick it. And I'd say, you knobhead. I would, but what's the point? What's the point in getting annoyed now? Because it's done its stuff, hasn't it?
I don't know why you'd kick it and call it a knobhead under the water. What is this octopus thinking? Oh, God. Oh, okay, you fucking eight-legged shit.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. I don't know what you're saying.
Fucking cunt of a mollusk.
I'll just spit at you again. It's not bothered.
You slimy little fucking boneless wanker.
This is why the face
Are you
is
still
good.
talking to the octopus? It's a slightly truncated show, isn't it, today, Carl? We've got
I don't
nothing
like
to
it. I don't like change, and that's what's happened. I'm not
You
happy
don't, do
today.
you? You're like Rain Man.
Yeah.
He really is like Rain Man. Anything change, it's got to get in a little routine. You can't.
No, I don't like to. I'm not like Suzanne's mum and dad and what have you, where routine cannot change no matter what.
Like what?
Well, we've talked about it where, you know, if it's a Tuesday, I'm having sausage, egg and chips no matter where I am. That's what they're like.
Right.
That's what they'll remember, actually. When I'm saying about stuff about Live 8 and all that, you know, people will remember. If people said to a dad, you know, you remember Live 8? Okay, what day was it on? Tuesday, when I had sausage, egg and chips. Nothing changes. But the thing is, today, normally we have a bit of a, you know, I know what we're doing where and all that, and it's all sort of messed up.
We don't usually know what we're doing where. We say, what should we do next?
No,
You go,
but
what?
I know, like, Rockbusters has been done early,
Right.
so that's normally done at
That's
about
really
5
throwing you. I
minutes.
say, uh-oh.
I just don't, I don't like all this change and that, it's messing about, innit?
Rain Man.
Sayings and that. Stitching time saves 9. Don't, you know, I'm never going to use that, I don't think, anyway. Okay. Suzanne
You're never going to understand it fully, are you?
Suzanne repairs me stuff anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But what about the one, in greenhouses and that?
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yeah.
What?
Does that confuse you? You've never understood that one?
No, that's a lot clearer, isn't it? It's sort of saying, don't be chucking stuff about if you're surrounded by glass and what have you.
Yeah, but don't forget, it's an analogy, it's a metaphor, it's not to be taken literally. It's not really just talking to people who live in glass houses. It's saying,
Hang on, sorry, before you say that, Rick, I'm intrigued to know if he's fully got to grips with this. Just
Okay.
give us your explanation again of what you'd take that to mean.
Well, just don't be chucking stuff about. Really.
so, well, if that was it, they just say that.
No, but that saying's been around a lot longer than we think. That's when people probably did live in basic glass houses and stuff.
No, whoa,
What they mean now.
Who has ever lived in a glass house?
So cavemen went from rock to a nice crystal structure, did they? What are you talking about? When did people live in glass
Well, no,
houses?
what they mean now, when that saying's used now, they mean sort of, you know, plasma tellies, ornaments.
No, they don't.
They're saying don't chuck stuff about, because
No,
you'll break it.
No, it's not about damaging your own property.
They don't mean you're inside the glass house throwing rocks inside your own glass
It's
house.
a metaphor. It means don't be having a go at people if you yourself have got more to lose. Do you know what I mean? It means it could be anything. Don't start a war where you could come off bad as well. It's about how fragile your situation is. If you live in a glass house, metaphorically, don't throw stones at someone else, because when he throws it back at you, your house is more easily damaged than his. Again, metaphorically.
It doesn't mean that if you're living in a glass house or in a house with other precious objects, you don't, in your own home, throw bricks about. Because that would be a very specific audience that I was trying to reach, that phrase. I mean, let's be honest, what kind of a mental
Do you know
case?
what? I think we've got the crux to this, right? I think I can answer. Right. Carl, what is an analogy?
It's sort of like a little story told quickly. Isn't it?
Alright, here we are then. Oh, Scorpio Rising, Death in Vegas, on XFM 104.9, about 1:05 Saturday. Here we are again then. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I can't believe our luck. Oh, alright Karl?
Alright.
Yeah, so what are we doing today then? Producer.
Right,
Oh, sorry, I always laugh instinctively when I hear Carl's name and that word.
Yeah.
Seriously.
right, well, why is that? Because it is, I had to come up with some new features again for this new year.
Okay. I'm excited.
What have you come up with?
Oh.
We are the backbone of this show, Carl.
Yeah, we'll tell you, we've come up with some pretty, what's yours first?
Right.
Go on.
Right, well, Rockbusters.
That's old, that's not a new feature.
Yeah, but we'll keep it.
Right.
For
So
another
you're
bit.
just keeping an old feature?
Okay, no, it's an old favourite. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going, phew, I was worried that he'd lose Rockbusters.
Rick, I just come up with a new idea. Why don't we just play some records that we like? There's a new idea for 2003.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we can't, Steve? Because the library's out of order.
Oh yeah, the record label, we can't get in there, we're not allowed to get in there.
We had to scrounge something from Capital Gold.
So anyway, right,
Go on.
so we got Rockbusters.
What are they doing with the library? Are they getting some records in that we want to play? Is that their new idea? I know, let's get some records in
Yeah,
that we
they're
want to
filling
play.
out the Gina G.
Yeah. Four non-blondes, goodbye. Give that to Foxy. Go on, sorry, Karl.
We'll do, we started doing Edom in 2002.
Do we need them?
Do we need him? Yeah.
We'll continue that.
Got a new one, haven't
Explain that later.
Yeah.
Right.
you? Yeah.
And then the new stuff comes in.
Ooh.
Right. As always, I like to sort of get words and tweak them and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of either doing something with, there's a lot of weird rituals, isn't there?
A lot of
Right.
weird rituals.
Yeah, there's weird stuff going on around the world.
There is, yeah.
And I was going to tweak that to rituals.
Okay. Right.
Again, starting with the title, the pun first, then working out what it is.
Well, I found some weird stuff.
Oh right, so it's specifically
Just stuff
what?
that goes on, like,
rituals.
there was,
Most of the weird stuff I've heard about happened to you in Manchester in your early years.
well, in India, apparently it's good to have a flat head. So the,
Again, just flirting, just bordering on the racist, but never really gets there. Always.
Well,
Go on.
because there's no intent.
There's no hate. There's no hate. It's just clumsy. It's just stupidity. Yeah.
exactly.
Go on. What
Sorry,
do you
so
mean?
what do you mean? It's good to have a flat
What
head.
do you mean? It's good to have a flat head in India?
we'll talk about it later.
Brilliant.
That's rituals. So
You've hooked a few people. You've hooked a few in. Go on.
Alright, so I'll have that later.
So it's
hold on.
essentially like educating Ricky, only it's specifically about rituals. Is that strictly speaking what it is? Okay.
suppose so, but then again, you could say radio is all the same because it's people talking.
Okay, Carl, brilliant. Brilliant
no-
comeback.
Yeah,
So-
really comeback. Not all talking nonsense though.
Well,
So that's where we're different. Go on.
also, right, I like teaching you stuff.
Yeah. And you've done well.
So what I'm thinking is, rather than just touching on a topic, sort of giving you a few bits of information on one
See,
topic.
this is what I'd like to do, because the last thing you taught me, I remember, was there was a blind girl, she hit her head and she could see, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
So if you could go into that a little bit more, that would have been educating me.
Well, today we're featuring stuff on World War 1 and 2, right?
Oh.
So that's that little title for all this little thing is, what do you think of that then?
What do you think of that then?
Play a record.
So that's
Rick,
that.
can I have just sort of a joke?
Go on.
What's the similarity between Lord of the Rings and this show? They're both rubbish.
Watch that man, David Bowie, off Aladdin Sane, my favourite David Bowie album. What's yours, Karl?
Yeah, that one's good.
Brilliant. So, right, we've got, Rockbusters coming up. Do you want to say what we've got to give away there,
Not
Steve?
really, Rick.
Is it really bad?
Well,
What's the film? What's the featured film?
the featured film's not bad, I have to say, actually. You've extolled yourself there. Again, it's just one of those things where I think, what kind of XFM listener would want this particular goodie bag? I know before Christmas, Carl, you explained that the
Look
reason
at
we were
Carl's
giving away...
face, he's disgusted, because he just said, I do a lot of work to get these prizes, and I went, no you didn't, I saw you, he went over to a drawer and went, I'll give that one, and that one. That's what work you put in. You nicked some, there's about 12 Jerry Halliwell videos, one of which we're giving away. It's
Oh,
sort of
Rick,
like,
you've given it away!
oh no!
Yeah, if you'd like Jerry Halliwell's Body Yoga DVD, then, you know, that's one of the treats you can win. But it does, like, if you notice, if you remember before Christmas, he said that, he was giving away a kind of bumper pack of gifts that you might want to wrap up and give to
one
various
for
people.
Uncle, one for-
Uncle,
yeah.
one for Auntie. But obviously Christmas has passed, so I don't know really what your excuse is this time.
You eat a lot over Christmas, don't you? Get a bit fat.
Fair point.
Yeah.
So, Jerry Body Yoga is one of them. The recent, on DVD, the recent series of Wiedersehen Pet. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
reaction. Could you give me that reaction again?
well, no, just
Just give me that reaction again.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And actually, I have to say, this isn't bad at all. This is the very best of the Stone Roses CD.
Well, you can't knock that. You can't knock
in fact,
that.
I'll tell you what, we should play Elephant Stone at some point.
Yeah,
today, 'cause
yeah,
it's
we'll have
fine.
that. Go on.
Madness. I think this is actually tunes from them and not from the musical, although it is tied into the
He
musical.
went to see that musical.
Really?
Yeah, on New Year's, you know what it's like on New Year's Day, there's nothing to do.
Sure.
So
I
you
took
go and see
Suzanne
some
out.
people doing Madness songs.
No, I took Suzanne out for a walk, right?
Yeah.
Went round, Covent Garden,
Right.
past the place where it was on.
The stage door was open, you snuck in.
Well, I said Madness are alright. And because when you think about it, Madness songs are quite sort of musical anyway, aren't they? So you can't
They're quite
do-
musical.
Do you know what I mean? They sort
He
of...
means they're
Oh,
like
I
a
see, right, they're
musical,
like a-
yeah.
like a musical.
Knees Up Mother Brown.
I thought it was alright, enjoyed it.
Blur the musical would be good, wouldn't it?
Blur the musical would be excellent.
Yeah, little Cockney
so
Sparrow.
what, you bought tickets there and then and just went in? They're not selling, are they?
It was fairly quiet, because
No.
we only paid the lower price and we got upgraded for free.
Nice.
So...
You enjoyed it though, did you?
Yeah, I'd loved it.
And
So-
would anyone like to come on stage with us?
Yeah.
The little bald fella. Yeah, go on, I'll give it a go.
And what home are you from?
Where are you, what are you doing tomorrow? Well, I'm going, I said, no, you're coming here tomorrow. Come here tomorrow.
Is it not doing well? That's a disappointment.
I don't know. I mean, it was New Year's Day, so maybe that's why it was quiet.
Okay, well, if anyone hasn't seen this or didn't receive it for
As Bono
Christmas,
said, all is quiet on New Year's Day, Carl.
also we've got the giveaway Minority Report by
I like that.
Steven
I enjoyed
Spielberg
that.
with Tom Cruise, which is on VHS.
Good Rip Roaring sort of film.
It's not bad. That's probably the best thing we're giving away. But as I say, we can always leave some out if you don't
I'm
want.
arresting you for the future murder of Sarah Marks.
Brilliant. That's the sort of excitement and drama you'll be getting in it.
It's not brand
Little
new.
taster there.
I got that off Paul Anderson. He said
Right.
there's something to watch over Christmas.
So you've actually watched this already?
Yeah.
All right.
I've rewound it.
That's probably added
No,
to it
you
though,
have.
isn't it? It's touched by the great man himself,
Yeah.
Karl Pilkington.
And it's alright, I'd say. It's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a quick film review?
Just give it a wipe down there, maybe some tripe on it.
Bit unrealistic.
Sure.
Bit unrealistic.
Yeah.
Genius.
A man who finds people who can see into the future.
Whereas our house, that really happened.
Yeah.
God.
Anyway, prizes giving away. What's the competition? It's Rockbusters.
We're doing Rockbusters.
We're still doing Rockbusters. Oh, well, look forward to
We'll
that.
do that in like 15
I need
minutes.
a bit of Coldplay first, I do, honestly.
Really? Oh, beautiful.
Coldplay, the scientist, I think they wrote that about Carl.
Yes.
On XFM 104.9. Right, I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Can I just ask Carl how he got on over Christmas? Because the last time I spoke to him, you hadn't bought a present for your girlfriend. I have to say, I was on tenterhooks all Christmas.
Well, you changed it. After that show, I felt bad, even though I shouldn't have done, because...
Because you hadn't bought your girlfriend a Christmas
Yeah, but I
present.
said to you, I booked a table at a hotel in Covent Garden, had Christmas dinner there, which was nice, right? It's good food and everything.
Didn't feel like enough to me.
Well, then I went out and treated some stuff, and then...
No. A couple of days before Christmas, he went, I took Suzanne to that hotel we're going to go to for Christmas dinner. We had tea and cakes. And I went, oh, you treated her? He went, no, she paid for it, but I was just showing her what it was going to be like. That was her extra treat. She paid for it. I love that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, it was like 150 quid for a meal for two, which is pretty dear. So I'm not going to buy her cakes as well.
I love that! Alright, love, have anything you want. You pay for your own pudding, I'm not mental.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you treated her to some other
Yeah,
stuff?
some bits and bobs.
What,
And
so
then yesterday...
she chose them and you paid for them?
What, the presents?
Yeah.
No,
Or
no.
you chose them and she paid for them, but, you know, it's the
No,
thought that counts.
I got them on the way home that Saturday.
Well done.
And what did you
Passed
buy?
them shops. Well, just some bits.
Might be personal, Steve.
Well, I don't care.
Some bits.
Yeah,
Just bits and pieces.
leave out the personal bits. What bits?
Just little things. And then yesterday, right?
A monkey wrench and a new washer for the shower.
Yeah. Some recordable CDs that you need for your job.
Oh,
So,
dear.
now, when you gave those presents to her, did her face light up?
Right. I don't want to tell you what they were, right? But she wasn't that impressed.
You're going to tell us what they were now,
Tell us what they are.
You even know what they are. She told you on Christmas Day.
Hold on, wait a minute.
But it doesn't matter what they are.
It does matter what
No,
they are.
It doesn't. It
It
doesn't
does, Carl. It's you, mate. Of
No,
course
it doesn't matter.
Oh, God!
Have you just remembered?
Yeah!
Right, but don't. There's no need.
I've got to tell him, Carl. I really want your permission because I don't want to be a, you know, I know it's not, but we know it's not that embarrassing. It's really quite sweet.
Yeah, but in a way, right, the way I look at it is, right, Christmas, even when I was a little kid, right, it's not...
Please let me tell him, Carl.
Well, let me just tell you first, though. Let me tell you why I didn't go all out on the old present front.
Alright. Justify yourself.
Right? First of all, I've covered it up since then anyway. Right, with that present, because I bought some shoes yesterday, and she did say I'll give you the money for them, but when I get home I said it's alright. I said you can have them, right? So not only did I buy her some food on Christmas Day, I got her shoes. She's probably had a
And you feel like a horse.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, there you go, there's your shoes, there's your food, right, bed down, see you later.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is she's done...
fed and clothed.
Yeah, did you comb her hair?
She's done well this year, right? So... The thing is,
done well this year. It's like you're a single parent living on a council estate with a smack problem. And you still managed to buy them some Lego.
When I was a kid, it wasn't about what you got. I remember one year when I was about 8, right?
Oh, this is gonna make me cry, isn't it, this?
No, it's not, I'm just saying the way it is, right? I woke up at about 4 in the morning, and I was like, oh, what have I got? And I couldn't sleep, I was that on edge. It's the excitement of Christmas, isn't it? It's like, oh, what's wrapped up, I need to know.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that people are saying, no, you won't know until tomorrow.
Yes.
That annoys you and winds you up.
Okay.
So I got up at 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
opened my presents, and then went, right, I know now, went back to bed, had a great sleep.
Yes.
Right? So it's nothing to do with the excitement of what you get, it's the excitement of not knowing what you've got.
And then what happened when you got up to go down with the
So what you're, but hang on, so what you're saying to me is that you could wrap up a brick because the thrill of Christmas is in hoping and being excited about what it is, not the actual gift itself.
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Did you get a brick?
No, let me tell him now what he got. He got her a present, right, and she said, she came, I said, yeah, he got me. It was an industrial-sized packet of condoms.
It was a joke gift.
No, it
wasn't a joke.
It wasn't even a joke.
I went home that Saturday after here, past Boots, thought, might have something in here. They were on, like, some value.
Right, you passed the
Were
makeup.
they used?
You passed the makeup, you passed all the other...
Past the makeup,
stuff.
past the lovely vanity cases.
Yeah.
The foot spas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The bathroom
hold
products.
on. How much are these, love, for 100?
Yeah.
$4.99. Yeah.
Do I get them reduced if I buy in bulk?
So how many did you buy? What was it?
I don't know, probably about 100.
Right, okay.
And is she allowed to use those with anyone?
Did you wrap them?
Can she just go out and have a wild
Well, you don't need to wrap, they're already wrapped, aren't they? Oh. And then what did she say when she opened them? No, wait, Carl, what did she say?
Right, play a record and we'll come back to this. You're worse than my father, that's genius. Made famous, of course, by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
That's All Along the Watchtower, as originally done by Mr. Bob Dylan.
On XFM 104.9.
So, Carl, just take us through the moment where you gave this gift. Firstly,
So you went into Boots, right? You thought, alright, 100 condoms. Brilliant. Okay. Did you wrap it
I don't
up?
know if it was 100, probably 80.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Right?
You don't want to go mad, do you?
Wrap them up.
I'm just resting easy knowing that he's not trying to breed.
Right? No.
Yeah.
So, I got her them. I got her, Grease on DVD, because she's always watching that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So just think of when her mum said, what did Carl get you? Some condoms and grease.
I was gonna say, I'm glad he said on DVD.
And, she was surprised anyway, right? Because
Yeah, I bet she was.
no, when she got
she was thinking like jewellery.
no,
That showed her. That surprised you, wasn't it? Alright? Oh,
So hang on, wait a minute.
You thought it was a holiday, didn't you? Yeah, look at your face.
You don't know me at all. So hang on, so did you give these on Christmas Day?
right. What happened is she got in from work that Saturday, right? And I said, look under the tree.
Knackered. Oh, at least it's Christmas.
Yeah.
At least I'm gonna get a little bit.
I said, look, you got some stuff under the tree, right? So,
Did you give her a sugar lump?
Right, she was really chuffed with that. But she said, she was a bit puzzled because I didn't know we had any wrapping paper, right? So I ended up using wallpaper.
You didn't take it off the wall though. You had some.
No, it was some left over, right? So she said, why have you used wallpaper? I said, well, I didn't have any paper and you were getting in a bit and I wanted you to have a surprise. So she said, can I have a feel of them? I said, no.
Presents.
She thought, right, I've got the right thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Christmas Day, I said, no, don't get carried away, it's nothing really good, you know, we said we weren't going to buy each other much. So there you go, open them.
Yeah, go on.
And,
Can I just ask, had you received your present from her yet?
yeah.
So what had you received?
What did they have? Had some shoes,
Nice.
right? Getaway game for PlayStation.
Nice.
I'm just totting up
Just
the
part
value
of the value
of
of
this.
those,
Go on, yeah.
And just also think about how much fun and pleasure you get from them.
Yeah.
Although, of course, condoms, I can see the,
Well,
see the appeal.
Well, right. Okay. Yeah, so
yeah,
I think
but
I can.
also add to that bit 150 quid for a meal. If you're going to start totting up, 150 quid for a meal. I bought some shoes, 72 quid.
Yeah, that was after the event, though.
Doesn't matter.
Alright, so you'd received these, dare I say it, thoughtful and nice gifts. You handed over the box of condoms. They were wrapped up. She
Well,
unwrapped them.
yeah.
Go on, take us through it. Walk us through it.
Well, it's not something you play with on Christmas morning.
Oh God. Oh.
But,
Right.
But when she opened
What
them,
did she say? What did she say?
well, I wrapped them twice as well, so she thought it was something really good.
Extra
Like,
protection.
Right.
And
So she thought it was something really good.
and then
So the disappointment would be doubled.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
then she just opened it and went, oh yeah, so what's on the telly? And that was
God,
that.
ungrateful.
That was
What an ungrateful woman that is.
that. Well, if you got stuff.
Fancy not wanting
I told her.
a box of economy condoms from Boots.
I said to her about the thing about, you know, it's all about the surprise and that, innit?
Yeah.
You explained that to her?
Yeah,
What, after she'd unwrapped it?
yeah. And she was alright about it.
Yeah. She understood.
Rick, you know I suggested to him that he buy his girlfriend a gift. I'm worried I've done more damage to the relationship by suggesting that than if he had just forgotten.
Next time you've got to go shopping for her yourself, Steve.
I think I might do.
You've better go shopping for her yourself.
I'm glad it's all over though. It's mental.
Yeah.
It annoys me. The whole thing annoys me, and she knows that as well.
Yeah.
She should know. What, she still insists on having Christmas once a year?
Well,
Wow. I'm you know.
no, but well, anyway, what did you get?
I can't think what you bring to the relationship, Carl. I don't know what it is she's getting from you in this relationship. It's like she's
I
doing
think
all
we
the
know.
work.
80 times. Oh God, Carl! I love it. You're brilliant. I know what she's getting. He's the.
What though? He's not thoughtful.
No, but he's thoughtful. He's the best he can do with the brain he's got. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He's doing his best. He's absolutely doing his best. There's no.
He's working at the limits of his powers.
Do you know what I mean? Though he's done as well as he can with what he was given.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
and that's admirable.
Yeah.
It's like, I think he's done better than you'd expect. I bet his teachers didn't even think he'd get this far. Do you know what I mean?
What? Find a girl.
No, well, yeah, a job, a girl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Clothed himself. He's done really well. What do you think, Carl? You think you've done well?
I think I've done alright compared to some of my mates.
What are they doing now?
Probably not that much. Do you know what I mean? Mrs. Matthews said I wouldn't be an high flyer. I think I'm doing alright.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I have a holiday every year. Got somewhere to live and that.
Yeah. Got a new flat, haven't you?
Yeah, so...
So where are they then? The condoms? Did she show them to her family and friends?
No,
Take them into work. Look what
I'm
Carl got.
surprised she told Ricky, actually. I was a bit disappointed in that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go shouting
Well,
about
she was
what
so
I got.
excited, Carl. Clearly, she's just so pleased and proud.
Alright, play a record, we come back to it.
No, that's it now.
No. Oh no, that's it.
Streets, don't mug yourself, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, a regular Santa Claus.
I'll leave it.
Oh dear. So, Rockbusters,
Rockbusters, first one of the year.
do you want to explain it? In case we've
Yeah,
got
just
some
in
new
case some
listeners.
new listeners.
Like
Might have, you never know.
Chance to win some stuff. Might give you like a cryptic clue and some initials, and it sort of makes up a band. So an easy one that we did at the start was an exploding pet, AK, atomic kitten.
Yeah.
Right, that's how it works. So there's 3 of them. It's email only. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk and you win all that stuff Steve was talking about. Right, first one. £42 for a torch. £42 for a torch. That's a bit pricey. That's D. Right?
That's D.
Yeah,
So
right.
just give us it.
Write that down. So £42 for a torch. That's a bit pricey, isn't it?
A little bit of enhancement.
Yeah.
Bigging up his growth. Oh,
Okay,
God.
that's
So that's
D.
D. The second one, he'll fit some chocolate to your feet.
Say that again.
He'll fit some chocolate to your feet.
Is that he will fit some chocolate to your feet? He'll.
Yeah.
He'll fit some chocolate to your feet.
And the initial there is A.
That's A.
Yeah. And the third and final one, do you think your kid will get that strawberry for me?
Do you think? Say it again.
Do you think your kid will get that strawberry for me? That's WP.
Right, now, I'd just better warn people. You really got to get into the mindset of Carl here. These are not real cryptic clues. These are not cryptic clues that you do in the Guardian or the Times crossword. There's usually something wrong with them. It is usually, what's the word? Completely change the word in order to make it fit.
Yes.
Often. So just be careful. Don't be surprised.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you want to give us them again very quickly?
Alright, first one, 42 quid for a torch. That's a bit pricey, isn't it? Alright, that's D. Second one, he'll fit some chocolate to your feet.
Can't think of anything. I can't think.
That's A.
And do you think your kid will get that strawberry for me? WP. Right, so
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Some great prizes to be won.
yeah. Right, Rockbusters then. Wrapping it up.
It needs some work, that game, but I'd see it's got a lot of mileage.
Right, here we go then. The first one, £42 for a torch. That's a bit pricey.
Go on.
That was D.
Yeah.
That was Daylight.
Wait, I thought Delight, and I thought it doesn't work.
second one.
I actually thought Delight doesn't work.
Second one.
There's no, wait. Dear Light, it doesn't work. It's Delight.
Second one was.
No, Carl, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but if we're going to continue with this feature, you've got to tweak them a bit, right? People have got it. We've had loads of emails, more than ever. So, do you know what I mean? Let them decide. If they don't like it, they won't email in, but they're loving it.
They've all come from the same institution.
Go on.
He'll fit some chocolate to your feet. That was A. That was Aerosmith. Right?
Aerosmith. You've heard of a blacksmith?
But a smith is just a workman. It doesn't necessarily. No, you can have anything. You can have a locksmith. A smith doesn't just mean it does shoes.
Right. Do you think?
Aero Cobbler would have worked. Unfortunately, there isn't a band called Aero Cobbler.
Get ready with a winner. Do you think your kid will get that strawberry for me? That's Wilson Pickett.
It's a little story told quickly. To what end?
Well, it depends what the story is.
Okay.
Depends.
Give me an analogy.
Well, for me, I thought a one with the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a greenhouse. Before it was just a glass house.
Yeah.
All right, then a glass house.
Okay.
Right. What I mean is that glass house is metaphorical. It's about the fragility of your situation as compared to your aggression or your...
You see, I just prefer sort of, what you say is what you mean. So people who live in a glass house have to answer the door.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I mean, because you may be a genius, because I don't get that. People who live in glass houses have to answer the door.
Okay, let's hear his explanation.
Because the people knocking at the door will be able to see you because it's a glass house.
But what?
But you literally mean it, don't you? There's no analogy there or metaphor for you. You literally mean if you live in a glass house and someone knocks the door. So there's no hidden meaning there, is there?
Well, normally.
Couldn't that also but you have to add a number of other things, other caveats. Surely, if you live in a glass house, don't walk around naked.
Yeah.
If you live in a.
But these are literal. See, if you could actually make that into quite a nice. Saying there, because if that meant, if someone said that to me and they weren't a shaved chimp, right, if they said people who live in glass houses have to answer the door, I think that means, it means that there are no secrets, you can't hide behind anything. If you're very open, if you've chosen to be totally open all the time, you can't go back on it. So people, if you wear everything on your sleeve, if you shout around and you tell the truth, and you can't go back on it. They can see through you.
It can mean that as well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's handy. But just the idea that in your head there should be sayings for people who live in glass houses. Who is it that's living in a glass house?
Well, I'm not talking about them. It's just that if everyone else is bringing up about these people who are living in glass houses, let's get to the real problems they've got.
He still hasn't got to grips with the idea of the metaphor or the simile.
People who live in glass houses should live near a glazier.
Well, here's another saying, right, that I learnt recently from a mate, right? Well, there's an elephant in the room.
Okay, I haven't heard that one, but explain it to me.
It's like when something's going on in a room, right, but no one's mentioning it because everyone's a bit too sort of. But in a way, it's better that it's out. It's like how whenever we go out for something to eat or a drink or something, it's normally after about 5 minutes the sort of topic gets onto the shape of my head.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I can't resist the shape of your head.
Right, so you're happy
It's not
talking
just the
about it.
shape, though, is it? It's the state of it as
No,
well.
but what
outside and in.
But-
I mean, it's a fascinating little objet d'art. His
what-
head.
but what I'm
it's
sa-
perfectly round. It's got no hair where it should have. And it's hollow.
The features are slightly too small for the face.
Yeah, unbelievable.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's interesting how, like, I'm the elephant in the room, right? Nobody's talking about it. You mention it once, suddenly it's the talk of the town. It's what I mean. Everybody starts joining in, going, well, yeah, it's round, but it does suit you. And these are people who I don't even know sometimes, and they're all dipping in. And that is an elephant in the room.
So you don't want people to discuss the shape of your head or the lack of hair. You would feel better. You would feel happier that they didn't mention that.
Sometimes I think it's better that it's out there. It's made me a stronger person, though. It's the same way, we were talking about religion and that. Samson Delilah,
Yeah.
he got weaker without hair. Whereas with me, I think it's made me stronger. Because, it's almost like it's treated like a disability. Everybody's sort of mentioning it and talking about it. What's it like having a bald head? And, you know what I mean? So it's made me stronger.
But would you ever wear a wig?
Not really.
What was a long wig like Samson?
Well, the only time I wanted a wig was when I did jury duty once, right? And it was annoying that I was sat on the jury, right in front of, like, these criminals, right? Everybody else has got disguises. The judges have them wigs on, right?
That's not disguises!
That's a disguise. That's why judges wear them, right? So
No! Well, then why did they print their name in the paper and have a picture? What do you mean it's a disguise?
it's a disguise, isn't it?
No! If it was a disguise, they'd go in with one of those glasses with a nose and the beard attached if it was a disguise. All judges would look like Groucho Marx if it was a disguise.
Well, I'm just saying that's what annoyed me when I was sat there on the front row, right? I couldn't have been any closer to the criminals, right? I was sat there and I thought, why didn't I just pop a little wig on or a pair of glasses?
I'd love to have seen you in the front row at Crown Court.
No, because
I'd love to see it because in this country you're not allowed to show pictures of jurors. You can't take photos in a courtroom, so there's always these sketch artists that draw drawings, and it's on the news. The idea that we'd have seen 11 people and a sort of Krusty the Clown figure would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would love to see the artist do an interview, because it would be like complicated people. Oh, hey, he looks characterful, and then just a little round head.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown sitting on the end.
Went home and looked up Freud on the internet. Didn't find him that interesting, so looked at some other philosophers instead. Socrates, Aristotle. Why have you just listed some philosophers?
just to show that I'm learning.
Well, that's not learning.
That's just learning their names.
That's a list. You might as well write 1 to 100.
Yeah, but if someone says, "Oh, what's your favourite philosopher?" I'll go, "Hang on a minute," and I've got them written down.
But why you can't just
Wait a
pick
minute, I'll
one?
go home, get my enormous diary out.
Yeah. Get a wheelbarrow, bring in my workings, and say one of the names I've written down.
And when they say, well, why do you like him?
Yeah, why do you like,
just run away.
I noticed you put Socrates first. Why is he your favourite philosopher?
You throw the diary at them and leg it. Oh, and then you go on to say, it's weird how names have changed, but then there's no other point there.
It just is, isn't it? When you think about, like, Socrates, I've never heard that on anyone who I know. Is what I mean. It's just, in a way...
But you're not Greek, are you?
But how did that go about back then? I mean, say if you were phoning someone up and he said, I'm booking a table for 2, they go, name? Socrates. Did he ever go, cheers? Without going, can you spell that for me?
But I don't know what point you're making.
I'm just saying it's a name that's awkward. You're always going to have to go, can you spell that for me? You go, and it's not just him. Look at all them other names that are on that list.
But they're from a different country.
And a different era.
Yeah, I know, but the names, I've been to Rome and stuff, and you sort of go...
What, ancient Rome?
Just Rome. It hasn't changed, has it? Rome, so it can be ancient Rome or Rome in 2006. It's the same buildings.
I used to love Nero going around in his Fiat Punto.
Lao Tzu from years ago came up with some good stuff. One, he who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Not entirely true. To lead people, walk behind them.
Yeah.
And of course, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
Yeah, did that.
Just favourites.
Maybe this is why people are at the start line spectating at the Commonwealth Games.
Well, no, it's just that I've never understood why in Olympics and stuff like that, if you're going to watch, don't stand around the start line, go to the end, where you see the winner. But because of that saying, it actually makes sense, doesn't it? It's like, well, every step starts with a step, or whatever.
Say again?
Every race, you know, you've got to start with a step.
Yeah.
So,
Which is, who am I talking to now? You or your brain?
well, I was thinking about it a bit, so I think I was in control of it a bit more.
So, and what have you come up with?
Just if you want to stay at the start line, do.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, if you're into, I wouldn't watch a race, right?
Okay.
But
Is this you or your brain I'm talking to now?
this is me.
Okay.
I wouldn't watch.
Are you gonna bring the brain into it, or is it? There's no.
I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is,
Right.
if I was to watch a race,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hang about the start line because.
Well, you just said you would.
What did I?
Yeah, you said that's the place to start because every race starts with a step.
No, but I wouldn't normally.
Right.
I
okay.
won't watch any
The
race.
brain definitely hasn't been used
No,
yet.
is this you or your brain you're talking about now? It was,
I'm just saying about me. If I was on holiday
yeah.
and Suzanne said there's a race going on down the road,
Yeah.
I'd go, well, let's go, keep going down the road and stand at the finish line.
Okay, but now what have
according
you
to
thought?
Lazoo,
Yeah.
I'd say, well, hang on a minute. Every race starts with a single step.
Yeah.
How many people are around the start line? Is there more room there? She goes, yeah. I'll go, let's go there then. It's less busy.
Right. And what would you see there then?
I'd see people starting the race, but I wouldn't be that impressed with them because I'd go, well, I don't know if any of these are any good.
So would you start at the start or the end then?
If it was down to me, I'd just probably stay at the finish line.
Okay. So you wouldn't want to see the first step then. So what
Not
do you think of
really.
Lazoo now then?
It's not what, but I wrote down 3 of his. That one isn't my favourite. That was the 3rd. I preferred the leading people from behind.
Okay. And what would you do to lead someone now then?
Well, if you're behind, you don't have to take responsibility, do you? You can go, well, I didn't send you here. You went there.
That's not really leading them, though, is it?
Yeah, because I've made them think. I've gone, they go, oh, I've just walked into a big hole. I'd go, oh, should have been looking where you're going. I haven't led them in that hole, but they've learnt a lesson. They won't go in a hole again.
New Order, and here to stay on XFM 104.9. Well, we're here to stay, aren't we, Steve?
True enough.
Well, for another 4 weeks anyway, then we're off. Then
That's
4 more
right.
shows. They'll have to order a new DJ. Alright?
That was genius.
Hey?
Oh, wow,
I'm
it's
Ricky,
as simple as that.
I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Mitchell, and
Oh.
Karl Pilkington.
Oh, man.
Did anyone read the Guardian yesterday? It was Steve's big. We were interviewed together.
I've never been interviewed before in the paper. I've certainly never had my photo in a national
We were very
paper
excited. We loved the interview. It was talking about our top 10 albums between us. We loved it. We talked really fast, like school kids. We were excited. It was a great interview, and all the way through, it was Ricky Gervais with his writing partner, Steve Mitchell.
Stephen Mitchell. It's
He
not
was
even
gutted.
like Merchant.
He phoned me up the night before and he was gutted. I know, it's awful. And it was big letters and just all the way through in the caption. And it's just like, oh, God.
But it's embarrassing, do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing because it's like I was trying to get in the paper, I couldn't believe my luck. And then that just draws attention to the fact that I'm not a celebrity, and consequently they can't even remember my name.
But the worst thing was that, one of my favourite albums of all time, as I said in there, was, Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And I said, because, you know, I think one of the most beautiful songs ever is If You See Her, Say Hello. And of course these people were sort of transcribing it from, you know, a dictaphone. It came out, my favourite song of all time was If You See a Sailor.
If you see a sailor. Oh, hello. Fruity.
Oh, Bob Drillboyd's. Up on the trap with, where's the sailor gone to? With Ricky Gervais and Steve Mitchellings. Oh.
I don't know, they must have thought my name was Mitchell all along. They obviously never knew.
The evidence is there.
But I don't know why, it was like they reported in the paper that we'd been nominated for a Sony, and it said, Ricky Gervais, who hosts the breakfast show on XFM, and it's that sort of, it's just guessing. It's like, presumably someone's gone, does he host the breakfast show? Someone's gone, yeah. And that's their research done.
Yeah, but there was a thing about, The Office set in Swindon. That's someone going, I'm just writing an article about The Office, where's it set? Swindon, I think, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even we research the show now and again, don't we? Yeah. Even we look things up, well, actually, people phone in. Usually that fella, what's that fella's name that calls in who's not got the website? He's got a funny name.
Oh.
Gilwell or something.
James.
Phone in if you remember what his name is.
Yeah.
James at Lose Control.
Yeah, what's his surname though?
Oh, for goodness sake, this is just gonna be interesting to him.
Yeah.
And his friends.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You remember?
We better play another record.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, if
Johnny
you like
Mango.
Mango, that's it, yeah. Now, if you like Elvis Costello's Alison, or maybe Freeze, My Brother Jake,
One of my favourites.
stay tuned. Badly Drawn Boy, Silent Sigh,
Cracking tune, man.
XFM 104.9. Maybe there'll be a few Silent Sighs around London on the 4th of May when, that's it, we're off the air for
We are
3
indeed.
months.
Yeah. Wow, you're really getting into the DJ patter today.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It's only
Links.
taken, what is it, 5 years?
Yeah.
Now you're finally as good as Foxy.
Coming up,
Yes.
that anecdote that Carl didn't get to last week about Neil Armstrong.
Right.
I can't wait. It's because he took 3 links telling us about the horse.
Yes, of course. Of
The
course.
horse. Think of that.
Wow.
I went out with Carl on Thursday night.
Right.
Right. It was one of the most enjoyable nights. We just, went out for about, 5 or 6 pints, a little crawl, and adventures happened around Carl.
Yeah.
And just me sitting talking to him was just incredible. I'm thinking that a competition would be win a pint with Carl.
Yes.
That
would be a hell
they
of a
just
gift.
have to go for a pint and they can ask him anything they want.
Yeah.
He's just great. We met my friend, didn't we? Tell him all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What?
Did you enjoy it as much as Ricky, Carl?
Yeah, there was things I learned as well, which was good.
Okay.
You know his mate Robin, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
You'll discuss that later.
I'll tell you later about.
He's got all his near-death experiences to come. Win a pint, and of course coming up, Carl's homework was the quotes, and Carl's come up with a great idea to show that anyone can do quotes. He's invented a thing like faking it, where he's got 2 real quotes,
Right.
and he's made one up.
Okay.
And he's going to fool us. I bet we won't be able to.
Brilliant. Sorry, what was the challenge of
Look
that?
at him looking at us. What's the matter with you?
It's just that before you were like, no, this is good for you, but
What?
now it's turned into a game.
At your expense?
Yeah.
Have you only just dawned on you?
Carl, well, I'm joking. It's great, honestly. It's really good.
What was the Carl challenge last week? You said I thought we did the quotes last week.
No, but I gave him a book on
Happiness.
happiness. It's all about happiness
Right.
and what the pursuit of happiness, and it's in sort of like quote form and everything. But Carl's gonna do a couple of ones and faking it just to show. I mean, because he's been coming up with fables all week as well. Now he comes up with something, he goes, "That's a fable, isn't it?" And he tells me so he's getting good now.
Forward to it all. If you play another track, have you got something? You got something
Oh,
special?
I
haven't
brought
you?
in, I saw, Elvis Costello and Jonathan Ross a couple of weeks ago, and he did just an acoustic version of Alison, and I forgot what an amazing song it is, and it's just, he's fantastic, he's the man. Listen to this guitar sound, it's so beautiful. My aim is to provide quality entertainment of a Saturday. That was
classy.
Elvis Costello and his attractions, and Alison on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Mitchell here and Karl Pilkington.
Oh, isn't it?
It's going all right. It's going all right. I obviously been doing some acting, as you know. I mentioned it last week, doing this sort of comedy pilot. This week, Karl, you're going to be loving this. I've been doing stunts. I swear to God, I've been doing my own stunts with the guy that once made Christopher Reeve fly as Superman, right? And I was doing stunts. I had to do a thing where my character has to commit suicide. I don't think we didn't bring that up. Were you anywhere near that horse? No? Fine, let's carry on. And, I had to, my character has to commit suicide and he has to sort of, leap off a building. So the first shot...
that's something for comedy.
Well, we were up on a roof, and obviously they had the crash mats and stuff, and I had to kind of leap off, and land on the mats and stuff. And obviously I was petrified the whole time because I was wearing my glasses. Petrified that they might get broken. So I was like not really doing it properly and kind of leaping like what, you know, people when they can't dive into a swimming pool, and so they put that one foot out first to sort of break their fall.
Was it you that told me that you could never get into fights?
No, I can never get into fights or go in a mosh pit because of my glasses. I've missed out in life because I can't, because if I was in a fight and I say, come on then, you are, you know, and I was in a pub or something, they just have to whiff off the glasses, just knock them off, I'm done for. I got nothing.
Really short-sighted, are you?
Yeah, but anything's an advantage in a fight, isn't it? And the fact that they're just a blur is bound to hamper my otherwise brilliant, you know, ninja skills. So yeah, I've never got into a fight, never been in a fight at all, I've never been in the mosh pit.
On the wire.
So this was making me sort of a bit worried, and anyway, so then I think, well fine, I've done my stunt, and I did it, and everyone clapped, they were pleased with it, and the guy who said I was very good. So then they drive us to the next location, right, I'm thinking I've done my stunts now. There's a crane, I think, what's going on here? Now they need to shoot me, like, I've already done the stunt where I've sort of leapt off the building. Now they've got to actually see me falling, right? So I have to get strapped in with this huge belt, and they click wires onto me, and they hoist me about 30, 40 foot into the air, on this wire, and I have to, and then they drop me at great speed, and I have to scream and shout. You know, it was partly acting. And,
glasses on?
Glasses, by this time I'd managed to get some wire fixed to my glasses so they wouldn't come off my head. I sure
they were stunt glasses. They were doing their own stunts.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So they hoist me into there on this thing. They do a couple of sort of demo versions, you know, and just to gradually ease me up higher and higher so I kind of become acclimatized to it. And, they get me about 30 feet up, and they've got these huge crash mats, like those great big ones you always see kind of stunt people have. And they set up the camera and stuff down below, and while I'm up in the air dangling there, they remove those crash mats, and they replace them with those really thin ones that you always see, like, teenage gymnasts using on Blue Peter. Do you know what I mean? The really thin ones they used to have at school, right? And I'm looking down at this, and I'm thinking, now, they may as well have shouted up, if you fall, you're done for, but we might be able to protect the equipment. Do you know what I mean? It was so rubbish.
But you weren't going to land on the floor, presumably?
Well, the idea was that the wire would stop that.
Oh, I see, but there was no that was their safety.
That was the safety net.
Why did they not leave the real ones in?
Because they had to, I don't know, for the shot and stuff, they had to be able to do it. But anyway, what was particularly joyful is one of the other actors pointed this out, right? This is the, this is the health and safety statement from the stunt guys, right? And they obviously have to write up this health and safety statement about how they do it. And it says, we confirm that we have proper safety policies, procedures to comply with the Health and Safety Act 1974, and that we will not do anything which compromises the health, safety and welfare of your production crew, actors or members of the public. If the above situation changes, we'll advise you immediately. I mean, if they think that maybe they do want to hurt members of the public, look at that fat one over there, just try and hit her, and bring him down.
Don't worry about that one. Don't worry, she can take it, she can take it.
But, so that reassured me, obviously, and, now my whole body's racked with pain. Limbs, arms, head, neck, unbelievable.
Well, is the shot worth having?
Probably not.
You'll wish you
Do
had...
you know what the cameraman whispered to me? The cameraman whispered to me, he'd probably never use it.